Hello there, kia ora. Yesterday, Winston announced that he's finally winning the war on woke. Because there is nothing like winning a nebulous culture war because you are a person who's been in a position of power for 40 plus years and you decided to pivot at the last election to try and flirt and win the vote of people who didn't finish third form science and think they know everything. That's Winston current electoral platform summed up relatively succinctly. And it's really frustrating to see because RSE has been a really fantastic tool with a range of amazing outputs. But we should also be really concerned about the fact that this is something that's been agreed to by the coalition, which means that there is a party in Parliament whose president is currently in prison serving time for sexual assault of minors, who wants to remove the tools that teach young people about consent. That should be a red flag for anybody, but not this government, because woke is bad. You know what? I actually sat down to write a whole script out for this thing about what RSE did and how it impacts kids and the positive outcomes. And I'm sitting here going, this sounds really familiar. And it's because I've already done this. I did a video on the 10th of December last year on this. And so I'm just going to show you that video again. It's got the data, it's got the research, it's got the outcomes that have been measured, it's got why RSE is such an important toolkit within the school system, but also little things like the fact that parents can pull their kids out of this. And, it's not something that's ever been forced on anybody. But, woke, bad, because brain cells don't bang together. So I'm going to just show you that video. Now, a couple of quick things before you go back and watch this video. One, 2024 was like 10 years ago, so things have changed a lot since then. My hairstyle, for example, is slightly shorter now than it was and a lot less grey. And there's a couple of weird things with the video that I'm like, oh, let's test this out stylistically, that I just haven't stuck around with. So I hope that's not too jarring. All right, do I need to do the wavy do thing for a flashback? No, I think it's probably easier if I just flick my fingers and we go straight into it. Hello there, kia ora. It's official. This government hates your children and is willing to put them and their future at risk, all to appease the loudest, most ill-informed, nasty pieces of conspiracy-spewing crap in the country. Well, New Zealand First and its voters. On Tuesday, when an ERO report into the importance of RSE into schools was released, New Zealand First announced in a digital circle jerk how it intended to remove RSE from schools next year as per the NZ First and National Party coalition agreement. A move that makes it much easier for people like Captain Ongoing Name Suppression from a political figure who isn't an MP but affiliated with one of those parties that likes to scream about being tough on crime and the need for real consequences and public accountability for sexual assault on young people, to do what he did. You see, RSE, or Relationship and Sexuality Education, is a multi-year model for teaching young people about relationships and sexuality. But because the sort of moron who voted for New Zealand First doesn't understand that just because something has the word sexuality in it, it's not about sex, it became another culture war topic for the party to pick up on to get into Parliament. But RSE is designed by experts to slowly introduce concepts and build upon those concepts year on year to help our young people understand complex issues, like how to recognize different healthy relationship types, broad social, cultural, and environmental contexts on well-being. It's a holistic model which involves physical, mental, and emotional, and spiritual and social elements to help young people learn about the world around them and how we fit in, and how each of us is unique and to be respected. For RSE in our schools, it was developed over a number of years, involving huge amounts of research and data to design broad course integrations for an all-of-school approach done by experts. These included access to piles of resources to help educators and to help schools keep parents informed. For a coalition government that keeps saying they want to base decisions on evidence, well, they keep proving time and again how bad they are at that. And the results, well, they've been brilliant, but also problematic for the group of synchronized swimmers from the shallow end of the gene pool who think the word woke is an insult and their third form science class education is more than enough to explain vaccines, chemtrails, and fluoride to the masses. Look, RSE in our schools has been cited as a driver for a decrease in teenage pregnancies and teenage abortions, a decrease in teen suicides, a more accepting attitude from young people to those who are gay, bi, or trans, with a better understanding of what that actually means, It's been credited with helping drive down rates of STIs, reduce the risk of sexual harm and violence, help increase communication between parents and young people on topics that it covers, and create better overall mental health outcomes for young people as they navigate life. It's been an instrumental tool in creating a new generation of much more accepting people who consider their place in the place of those around them in a much broader sense. But the conspiracy theorists freak out about it, despite the fact that parents have always had the ability to withdraw their kids from these classes if they aren't comfortable with them, or that parents and schools are often in regular communication around the topics and lesson plans. They still somehow see it as their business to dictate what children can be taught at school. It's actually an evolution of the anti-LGBTQ conspiracies around child grooming that grew in prominence in the 70s and 80s and has been a focus again in the US with the rise of anti-trans bathroom laws and Florida's Don't Say Gay laws. Then they were imported here by people who are clearly genius-level critical thinkers able to totally contextualize data sets and communication methods to come up with their own original thoughts. Said nobody ever. The fact is that data on this has been really clear. It's a great thing for our young people. It's a good thing for our society and country. It's a bad thing for people who would take advantage of young people and not respect them or their choices. You know, like the kind of people who try and dictate what should be taught in schools because they don't like the word sexuality. Which is why this is so popular with refugees from the illegal parliamentary occupation to cry about. And now they're dictating policy which will harm your kids, especially if your child is a member of the rainbow community or doesn't fit the Facebook comment section come to life that is New Zealand first and their definition of normal. Yeah, so there's a ton of research and a ton of data that shows us that what Winston Peters is pushing and celebrating at the moment is harmful to our young people in so many ways. And this is what happens when you get somebody who's trying to be a populist leader who is appealing to the lowest common denominator. The kind of people who scream and yell, "Oh no, Jacinda!" whenever anything pops up about her in the comments. The kind of people who really, really are passionate about what they're doing based on a whole bunch of mis and disinformation. You know, the kind of people you could probably thank for the outbreak of measles that we've got going on at the moment. So yeah, thanks a lot, Winston, for showing us yet again why it's so important that young people and people who understand how to think critically and do their own research properly go out and vote in the 2026 general election. Because if we had 3 more years of this going on, who knows what else they could do to harm our kids, because it's woke. Hey, thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. While you're here, why not hit that like button or share the video or even subscribe to the channel. You could even become a paid YouTube member so you can see things released in advance, you get access to some exclusive content, and like all these awesome people, you get to have your name at the end of the credits as well.